All right. Away we go. Hi, everybody. Oh, whoops, wrong button. Sorry. Instagram is just about dead to me. Come on. There we go. Joy. Okay. Might be the last time I use Insta. We'll see. YouTube shall continue. Let's do a few shoulder rolls. It's pulling. Couple of these guys. Then you'll be doing some wall angels. You remember those? But keep rolling them shoulders before you start that. Hang out where, yeah. Overhand grip. If you've got one of these guys, we'll also be doing some of those. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Hey, man.
Hi.
Let's wall angel.
Wall angel it.
Yeah. I do a lot of them, I know. But they work.
They do work.
We do things because they work. So just that, you're just making that W shape into a Y shape. W, Y, W, Y. If for some reason you don't have a wall, yeah, you can just do this in midair. But one of the problems there is you don't have friction with the wall, a little bit of resistance, that friction. If it's super easy for you, by the way, then yeah, you're like super mobile. Good for you. I'm jealous. Maybe in that case, just push back as far as you can. It might be like behind your head. All right, next up. Grab one of these bad boys and just a pull apart. Whatever weight you got floating around, just to wake things up. My clothesline out, so she goes by. When you're ready, come over here and jump into the wall angel.
Oh, okay.
You can have that wall. I warmed it up for you.
Thank you.
Sorry. I'm just going to do my pull aparts. So the big plan today is TRX stuff. If you don't have TRX, one hopes you have something like this. Because option B, if no TRX, why don't I show you this now while Alice does her wall angels, is, I'll just put this on the floor. Coming in here anyway. So option B, stand on your heaviest band. Take a long 3-point stance, or sorry, not a 3-point stance. Left leg is way out in front, right leg is back. Both knees are bent, but the left knee is a little more bent. Then grab, this is lighter if you're pulling here, okay, to do your rows. This is heavier. Do your warm-up set light, that's this guy, and then do your heavy set, this guy. And if you're really strong and you want to challenge yourself and you have more bands, either go with a thicker one or double it up. Let's say you've got this kind of thing going on. You've got a medium and a light. Well, then you could just do the same thing, right? And now this will be like using one of the heavier ones. All right, but that's only if you don't have a TRX. If you do have a TRX, you will join us here. But first, we're going to do what you were just doing, you little mind reader. Get into downward dog and just do a few shrugs. Just to further loosen up the shoulder blades. If that's too challenging for you, put your hands elevated on something, like a box or the sink. I'm, of course, assuming you're all working out in your kitchen, since I am. Abs are made in the kitchen. That's what we like to say. And of course, that refers to just getting into a low body fat percentage. You're going to see abs. Gandhi had abs. He didn't eat when on hunger strikes. Next up, hands and knees. Just do a couple of these guys. Just twist to look at your left hip. Twist to look at your right hip. Back and forth like that. Exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale. You're just looking. And then again, look. 2 more big breaths. Once again, this is the last of them. And now we're going to do just a quick bird dog. Right arm and left leg are out. And just lift. Bring the elbow and knee toward each other. They don't have to touch. Because if they touch, you might have to round quite a bit. That's not a bad thing, but you don't want to flex too much here. So just back and forth. And I'm also trying to keep my back stiff. So I'm going to show you the wrong way for a second. See what I did? I overarched, flexion, extension like that. We don't want that. We want to balance the tray of martinis on our back. So I'm just moving at the hip and the shoulder. Keep the neck long. Just do one more and switch. It's probably not very challenging, but if it is, you should probably be doing a lot of it. We're doing it now as more of a warm-up, but if you've got low back issues, this is a good idea. But again, make sure you're doing it right, that you're not turning it into low back extension, but rather hip extension. So right now we're going left elbow toward right knee. All right, one more time into downward dog. And a couple of shrugs here. Let's say 6 more. Okay. Wonderful. Let's get started. So I'm going to rotate use guys so you can see where we'll be. I've got this anchored up in the door, and I'm going to do some rowing.
Yay.
So we do a lot of these. The first few back workouts I was doing, pulling workouts I was doing, we didn't use the TRX much, partly because it was my assumption that not many people had one. But now we're using it a lot. Another alternative, if you have neither TRX nor band, is you could pull people. So what you do is you find a willing or semi-willing participant and lift them up and down off the ground. Or you have them stay nice and sturdy and pull on them. Alice, do you want to warm up that way?
Yeah, that'd be great.
You do?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Which one do you want to do? Do you want to be the puller or the...
I want to.
Do you want to stand or lie down?
I want to pull myself to you.
All right. So check it out. She's going to lie down.
I'm going to use my support to go down.
That's reasonable. Okay.
I got my hands under my heels.
So I am now the TRX, so to speak, or I am the parallel bars.
And so I'm grabbing him at his wrist for bone because it just feels better.
Yeah. And up and down she goes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my arms pretty parallel. What am I saying? Yeah, parallel to the floor. Good job, man. This isn't really a warm-up for Alice. I mean, she's very strong, but this is like a real work set. But pulling movements, I'm not gonna lie, of all this stuff, it's probably all right to just kind of jump right in. If you're gonna jump right into anything, like you wouldn't jump right into your max squat. I mean, you could, gun to your head. If you had to lift a car off a baby, you're not gonna be like, hang on, let me start with a lighter car. I'll lift that a few times, then move to the heavy car that's trapping the infant.
But, in the gym, we have the luxury of warming up. But if you're really in a hurry, if there's one movement you don't have to maybe warm up as much for, it's probably pulling stuff. IMO. Okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna do another one of these.
Great. Thinking about changing the camera angles.
You may. I'm not upset if you do. Here's a democracy. We all have a vote. I have a 51% vote, and you have a 49% vote in the outcome. All right. So, note that my heels wedge against something. So,
I do have to get you on the
I have put this thing down so that I don't slide. You do not have to use anything. If you find you can get your feet to stay firm, sometimes people do like this sort of split or staggered stance and they don't go anywhere. Or if you just wear sneakers, maybe you won't go anywhere. Or a yoga mat. I find nothing works. I have to brace myself. And here I go. So just going to do a high rep set of these guys. With pulling, initiate with the traps. So shoulders back. Retract your scapula. So you don't want to do this. See, my shoulders went forward. You want to do that. Proud chest is a good cue. Like so. And I'm going to do a teeny little pause. Al's turn. I think you like the thing, if memory serves. Good. Yep. Shoulders back. Glorious.
Sean's trying to work on new ways to compliment clients
I say nice too much.
as they do reps.
Yeah, I'm always like, nice. Well, that's nice. Yeah, no, do another rep. Nice. And
Glorious seems a little extreme.
Well, it was glorious.
I mean, I'll take it, but
No wrist flexion. That's not glorious. That last one was not glorious either.
because I was done. Aren't reps allowed to sort of fall apart when you're going to your edge? Okay, so then I'll
Mostly, yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
All right.
Depends on the person. Depends on the body awareness, injury, current injury status, things like that.
Okay.
In your case, you're allowed a little wrist flexion for it.
Only at the very end sets when I'm pushing for the last ones. I don't want them at the beginning. Okay, cool.
All right. We're keeping it simple here. We're just rowing away.
Great.
And again, if you're just joining us and you don't have a TRX, hopefully you've got a big heavy band you can stand on and row, or you have a person you can lift, or you have suspended a broomstick between two objects and you are rowing yourself. My next plan, as Alice does her next set, I will start to get mine ready. Actually, I can't because she's going to be using everything. But I'll need the rest. That's okay. I'm going to set this up where I can be directly underneath it so that I'm not going at a 45-degree angle like this. I want to be pulling from straight up and down. Actually, to save time, I'm just going to use the bar and stick it on the sink. That's what I'm going to do. You make a good point. You convinced me. All right, Al's
Do
turn.
you want to take that? No.
Not yet.
Oh.
Oh, you've been using it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, squeezing back. Our plan, we're leaning toward 4 sets today of this stuff. But it partly depends on what kind of time we're making. pull day, I'm trying to get to, I mean, most of these things, I'm trying to keep them 45 to an hour, but pull day in particular, I want it to be short.
All right.
Okay. So, I'm going to put this on things so that I can be pulling myself now. Oh, we got more plants, and now I can't put my feet up.
You could just remove one of those plants.
Should I throw it out the window? What should I do?
No. One of our friends is moving and gifted us a number of their plants.
She's really social distancing.
So we have some new plants that we're gonna repot and try to keep alive because they had been unwatered through the course of this quarantine because the friends had already moved, and we're planning to come back sooner and pack our apartment, and just were unable. Let me move this orange bowl.
What if I get hungry? All right. So you can see this thing is not perfect for this exercise, but it'll get the job done. Ideally, there would not be this part. It would just be a straight bar. But I don't have one. I'm gonna do a few more. Any second now, I'm gonna pull this thing off this sink.
I mean, I hope you don't.
I hope I don't too. All right, Al. Your turn.
I'm doing that, or
No, you're gonna do back to TRX for you.
oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you really? You want to do this?
I mean, I'm not opposed to doing it.
I shall permit it on your next set.
Okay.
Isn't that a nice compromise?
Let's see if I got that right.
If not, I'll scooch it. Yeah, you got it. Note that she has about a 90-degree angle, her torso in relation to the straps. If we drew a line, there you go, Al. Here's my yawning. It makes about a 90-degree at her shoulder. As we fatigue on these, we tend to start lying back more and lifting our hips. Good. You do a pause set?
No, I did 18.
Hey, that's a good number.
So instead of that,
18's good. It's sufficient. I have not been taking very long rests, so I'm going to DS for a moment before I do my next one. Actually, I'll take this time to take the socks off because they make me nervous. See, pro tip, if you have one of these chin-up bars, let's get here where maybe it will expose me and not the sky behind me. Look at all those lens flares. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, pro tip. If you have a chin-up bar, for whatever reason they paint them black and it could scuff your molding and stuff. So I put a sock on the bar. I thought of that myself.
You did. That's very good.
Yeah. Might take another moment.
Okay.
All right. You're gonna do this next, eh?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. That's my Richard Kind, everyone. Who's familiar with Richard Kind?
I don't know.
I don't know. Ugh. All right, that's good enough. taxing.
There's 9 of them.
Yeah, that last one was puny.
Yeah.
All right. Who else saw Thor break the deadlift world record today with 501 kilograms? That's his name's Half Thor.
Oh.
Bjornsson,
There you
the
go.
mountain,
Okay.
broke Eddie Hall's deadlift record.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll see what I can do. See what I can muster. You grab the medal, right?
There, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little scared.
As you should be. See, part of the challenge is getting up there before here you go. And a girl. Well done.
Oh, it's a little scary.
And I might have put it a little too.
No, this
There you go.
I'm gonna do with bent legs.
That's fine. As usual, Alice went in here blind. Good. That's great. No, you should be happy about that. That was good.
I was only 10.
Oh, what do you mean only? This is a good set.
Yeah, but I planned for more.
Oh,
Well, 5 more.
all right. It's a reasonable request.
Okay. All right.
Cupcake? That's what I say now instead of nice. I say, good job, Cupcake. Like if I was training Thor, that's what I would say to him.
Good job, Cupcake. Where are you? There you are.
All right. Okay, we're gonna do pull down variation. We did this last time we did pull day. It's one of my faves, so it should be familiar to ye. Get your band in the door. I have attached multiple bands to get a nice, relatively even tension. Now I put my hand through the loop. It's around my wrist, like where a watch would be, and then I grip it. Nice, easy way to hold the band. Grip strength should not be the limiting factor if you do that. Okay, back I go. Now,
Oh, you're so far back.
yeah. Now I'm gonna lean over. I'm gonna stay leaned over. I'm staying in this like big hinge, kind of like a squat, but where I'm really forward leaning. You could also do a long lunge where you have one leg back, but I like this setup because it really helps me sit into it. So I go overhand, shrug, depress the shoulder, underhand. You don't have to do it that way, but I believe it's a little more comfy on the shoulder. Overhand, shoulder down and back, underhand. Overhand, stretch that lat, underhand. I've got one more in me, and that's take a second. These set my latissimus aflame. I'll do a few more.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah. Al's turn.
Grand.
So her right arm, yep, her right hand goes in. She got it, and away she goes. Big forward lean, good.
Oh, it just feels good to stretch on that side of the body.
Great.
Shoulder good. So you're letting your shoulder really go out?
At the beginning, yeah.
Okay, and then you were saying that you do
Then you
shoulder.
try to do that first.
Then, okay.
Yep. Yep. So that's like a shrug. If you were doing the downward dogs, when you push the floor away, it's that same direction of the shoulder. Just basically think, let the band pull you. Let it pull the shoulder out. And then start by pulling it back before you have bent the elbow. So it's like lat, then the bicep. Start to help. Nice. Drop set. Good. So she did a bunch of reps, hit failure, and then she moved up a few steps. So I'll go on a mini lecture now. Why we resistance train. Bunches of reasons. Here's one. If you've ever been told you have pre-diabetes, you're metabolic, insulin resistance, metabolic damage, however they phrase it. The more muscle you got, the more place to store glucose. So your glucose is stored in the liver, it's in the blood, and it's in the muscles. Diabetics cannot store it, and it becomes toxic, and they can die. So you can't make your liver any bigger, and your blood can only hold so much. So in addition to a good diet, and if you're really far along, medication, you can try to beef up your muscles, make more room in the muscles for glycogen. And also, it isn't just the permanent added room, it's also the cycling from, basically you're wringing out the muscle of sugar and then have to put it back. All of that is good. It's hard to do while talking. Do a few more. But yeah, anyway, all that is good for you. Improves insulin sensitivity. Because when we say insulin resistant, first it generally is your muscles are having a harder time taking in those calories. You know, insulin knocks on the door to the cell, and the cell says, okay. But as we become insulin resistant, the cell says, no, we're full. We don't want any. Take it somewhere else. We'll do 2 sets each here. And generally then it's the fat cells become insulin resistant. And now you're really in trouble. Now you have diabetes. It's obviously way more complicated than that. But one thing we know is resistance training can help. Just the act of dumping your sugar stores from liver and muscle, and then having to put it back is beneficial for helping reverse pre-diabetes, insulin resistance. And you also just want to watch how many carbs are you consuming, specifically if you're sedentary. I'm not anti-carb. I think you don't set the world deadlift record on a low-carb diet. However, if you're sedentary, you really got to watch those carbs. Unless you have such exceptional willpower and you'd never overeat, and you're being monitored closely and your blood sugar is good and you've never been told you're at risk, But that's not many people. A whole lot of people have been warned, especially the older we get, have been warned by, what are we, back to the right arm, right?
Yep.
Warned by our doctors about pre-diabetes. You know, fasting, A1C, all those cool numbers. So yeah, option 1 is just have an incredibly strict diet, but option 2, along with a good diet, is resistance training. Do your cardio, do a lot of walking, but also lift the weights. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Good job.
Do a little drop set. Okay, Al's turn. Right arm. Hey, we're flying. This will be a quick workout. I hope. I think it might. I don't know.
I don't know.
Semi-fun.
We're 30 minutes in.
We're 30 already.
Yeah.
I'll try to bring her in within 15 more.
Wow.
Bring her in under 45.
Wow.
I had that coming.
You know what I started to do? Put this hand and this elbow, and
Yeah.
also squeeze.
Yeah.
Just 'cause it feels good on my pelvis.
I like it. Yeah, sometimes there are individual tricks people discover for themselves that just seems to stabilize them or give them more leverage. Who knows? Maybe there's something to the push-pull idea. We haven't done much of it here in these home workouts, but I'm a big fan of doing a row with a press. So you would have a weight over there, band over there, but then also a band behind me, and you go like that. Or it's something stable, so I could just be holding on to something while I push. Thanks. Or the other way around, I could be bracing with a pressing motion while I pull. In addition to being able to lift more weight, there might be like a super stiffness effect. Now, what Hafthor did today was he deadlifted that one time. He did some warm-up work, but he did one set, and it was a 1 rep max. It was quote-unquote failure. Like if he tried another one, we're going to assume he would not have gotten it, because if he could have, he would have deadlifted even more weight for that first and only rep. Now what we're doing is a higher rep set to failure. Now there's differences between lifting something once and lifting something 20 times, but in the end, for muscle building, they're actually smaller than you'd think, those differences. Like if you're working in the 5 rep range or the 15, 20 rep range, they've done a lot of research into this now, and you'll build similar amounts of muscle. The most important thing is just consistency and enough volume. Al's turn. A very broad general rule of thumb is try to hit a muscle 10 sets a week. People will kick that one around. Some say no, it's 20. I've seen good evidence on either side there, but 10 is kind of a really good, I think, at the very least, initial approach. So with these little workouts we've been doing, we're about doing that, because we'll do, if we do these 3 days on, 1 off, 3 days on, we're doing this pulling workout then twice in a week. You're going to be doing about 10 sets of pulling. Yeah, we mix it up, like we did a horizontal pull and then a pull from this vertical orientation. But we're gonna call this, we're just gonna lump all these into pulling sets. And we'll easily be getting 10 a week. And then, yeah, it's like these are the compound lifts, and then there's the more assistance lifts that we do, where you're doing like an isolation, the pull apart with just the shoulder joint. Very good, Al. You know, how much do those count compared to the big compound movements? We could debate that all day, who knows? But if you just try to give yourself the rough goal of 10 a week, I think that's a really good start. Hey, that's it for 2, 2, 2, and 2. Very good. Speaking of pull aparts, we're gonna do that.
Which room are we going to be in?
Let's run to the other room. Let's get out of this this room. Let's go to the living room.
Okay.
So pleasant in there.
Okay, great.
I'll let you carry every single thing.
Sorry, and
Didn't fall on their face,
little.
but it didn't do that weird buzzy thing. It did. Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah.
Still doing it?
Yeah.
Funny.
Funny, isn't
Unnerving.
so much the word is, yeah, like a little scary.
Well, we only have a year or so left on our contract, right? Till I get to get a new phone.
You flipped it.
I flipped it. Sorry, guys.
You can get a new phone tomorrow if you want.
I guess I could. All right, pull parts.
Okay.
We're just going to do these together.
Okay, great.
This is for you,
Thank you.
friend of friends.
Thank you.
Okay, grab your band. So if you have one of these, here's how I like to start these guys. Grip where you're a little shorter grip on the top, so there's like it's like a big smiley face or something. I don't know. It's like a big grin. Okay, and now I'm gonna pull. That way, the top part is the main part of the band that you're pulling, but then as you get toward the finish, the bottom one kicks in. That makes sense? So the bottom slack, 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 and at the end it gets tight. You can't do that because you have that band.
Yes.
That doesn't have this. You can just do that.
It's pretty heavy.
It is heavy. I wasn't messing around when I gave you that band. I didn't pull my punches.
Pull your fun.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So when you go, now that I've said it looks like a smiley face, I'll never unsee it. See, it looks like it's pretty flattering.
Cool.
These are getting tiring. As many, because usually I just do pull aparts as the warm up.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you holding up over there?
Okay, these are getting tiring.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna quickly go.
Shoulders.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna go into this now. External rotation. Nothing fancy. Elbows are in. Same band. It's gonna be screaming at you if you're anything like me. Alice's face says she's in the same boat. External rotation. 2 more. 1 more. All right, take a break. Oh, I grabbed the wrong bench. We're going to do curls. And we're going to do that drop set thing we did last time. Here's the back one. I didn't get any lift. Okay, stand on your band. Grip it in the hammer position, neutral grip position. You can stand on it with 1 foot or 2, whatever gives you more stability and enough load. And you're just going to do curls. Alice ran over there. So here's the plan. I have the heavy medium-ish band. She has the light medium band. And then we have the light band over there. we're gonna do drop sets. Once we both hit the wall, we're gonna switch, or not switch. She's gonna drop. No, she's gonna hand me the black one. I'm gonna drop this one, and she's gonna take the red one. You get the idea? So, it's a drop set of bicep curls. We will be supersetting these with the pull aparts. I bring her in under 45. No, you don't think so? Yeah, not at this rate.
You're bringing it in at the perfect time, buddy.
Your elbows mostly don't move, but at the top, you're allowed to let them drift forward a little bit. I'm not gonna judge you, because what is the bicep if not a shoulder flexor? Your bicep contributes. So as I curl up and then I let my arms go forward a little, that's a little bicep-y. How are you?
Well, good.
How many more you got? Tell me 0.
Well, we did 15.
Great, I need that band. Fork it over. I'll give you the red one.
Thank you.
Okay, drop sets for us. Now, you might be saying, Sean, I feel this all in my forearms. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with getting stronger forearms. I know you want to feel your biceps. It's okay. That happens a lot. Like, let's say you're doing a squat of some sort, and you're like, what the heck? I only feel this in my calves. I want to feel my quads and my glutes. Hey, maybe your quads are really weak. Maybe they're really strong. Maybe they're weak in that, so they're the limiting factor. Maybe they're strong, so they're punching above their weight. Be aware of it. Maybe play with little modifications, but don't not do the exercise. Don't say, oh, I only feel my forearm, I want to feel my biceps. Oh, well, guess it's not a good movement for me. I mean, if you have dumbbells and stuff like that, and you can play with a different tool, great. Okay, pull aparts again.
Oh, wow. All right.
I'm going to give you the red band.
Okay.
I'm going to start with this black band.
Great.
Drop to the gold one.
Oh, okay.
Big old curveball thrown your way.
So what to say?
That's right. So this will be a little harder for me.
This will be a little easier for me.
Really? Easier than the gold?
Yeah.
Well, all right, so that's true because of the way, if I had you hold it together like that, then it would be harder. A little more narrow it up, cinch it up. Zip it up.
I would just like to state for the record that Sean did his first set with this red, and it was an easier set for him because, just so you know, just calling it out. You started, yeah, that's where you started.
Yeah.
It's like, nice. It's good. I can get my my delts down. Think about that.
Yeah. Keep those shoulders down. I was going to do a drop set to the goal, but she's convinced me that it's heavy.
No, try it. You feel it. It'll feel good.
Yeah, it's a little different. TheraBands, whatever the latex they use compared to the glued together little strips that these guys use, it is a little different. I don't know how. The chart.
Another set of
Tensile
biceps.
strength, I guess they call it. Wait, no, now the external rotation. So take an underhand grip.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, hello. Oh, I ain't gonna get many of these. Oh, yes. I don't want to do as many reps this time. Therefore, I am going to try the trick of two bands. Two band.
Okay.
Two band throat singing. Did they say it?
I think it's two then.
Two band. The B. No B. All right, here goes.
Do you want the orange and the red?
No. This is heavy.
Good job, buddy.
You can do that all day.
I can.
The red?
You took the black.
I did.
I'm not sure. I also used the red. You wanted the black. I was like, okay.
Now I realize what you were saying.
It's okay.
I'll trade
There's no judgment. It's still a workout. I started with my lighter and
Yeah.
now I'll move to the heavier.
Oh my god, it's so heavy. I'll do a few with just the red now. So, what I'll finish up with here, if I can ever get a decent grip on this thing, by changing to the red and choking up like this, even though it's lighter, it's constant tension. I don't get a break at any point. So like down there, I get a break. But if I stop just shy, my poor biceps is a screaming. Okay, we did 2, right? Okay, back stuff. Here we go.
I thought that was ab exercise.
Core exercises.
Oh.
I know, it's like, what do we call a core thing? It's a low back thing.
Ah.
So, if you have access to this exact couch, this will work great. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. What we do, I'll wait for you to come around. We'll be horribly overexposed, but that's okay, or backlit rather. We'll be in silhouette. So what we've learned is putting the cushion up like that. Then we can lie on that and it's not too unpleasant on our midsection. All right. Makes sense? I'm gonna be here. My pal Al will be holding down my feet and I'm gonna be working my low back. So I'm gonna be trying to flex here. Come along, my young apprentice. She's got me stuck in there.
I just sit on him.
Yeah. Let me bend my knees just a little more. There we go. Now it's still like mildly unpleasant on the ribs, on the maybe internal organs or something, but at least like it's tolerable, and I feel my low back working. Now, if this is too much work for you, you can just lie face down on the floor and lift and lower your chest. Your arms can either be resting like this, or you can lift them up and down with your torso. I'm gonna briefly rest. How you holding up, my little Cajun?
I'm fine.
Away we go.
All right, you holding up.
Not funny. Your turn.
Good job. Oh, never mind.
I was thinking of doing anatomy. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if you want to bend your knees more, let me know.
Oh, this is my shirt.
Okay, here we go. After this set, we'll call it in. Good job, folks at home. one of these days we might try to figure out a way to do one of these on our roof or in the park. There's just questions of like live streaming. We ain't using data to do all that. Although technically we do with the Instagram. Because we don't, for some reason Wi-Fi doesn't work on our Insta.
Okay.
Well done. All right, the end. Ugh.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
See you tomorrow.
Hasta luego. And saying okay. She's being a little pest. You're